As you start moving more and more of your IT infrastructure to the cloud, you're probably going to need more and more guidance. In this nugget, I'll show you resources centered around technology support. These are going to be in addition to resources that I've already shown you, for instance, when we were looking at the security resources that are available. One of the most powerful resources for any area of technology that you're working with in Amazon Web Services is the frequently asked questions documents that Amazon engineers spent so much time crafting. If you're wanting to go beyond the cloud practitioner area and you're wanting to go into deeper levels of Amazon Web Service certifications, these tools are critical because many of the exam questions that you would face are written directly out of these FAQs. Let me demonstrate this. So I did a Google search here on AWS EC2 FAQ, and the very first link brings us to the frequently asked questions area for EC2. Notice there's so much to Elastic Cloud Compute that we get a whole bunch of different categories in that one subject area. So for example, if I'm struggling with the concept of what an elastic IP address is, I can jump right to that section and I can read the frequently asked questions that Amazon gets on this subject of elastic IP. Notice that oftentimes there's going to be links inside of the FAQ to bring you to the appropriate portion of the documentation or even the appropriate section of the management console so you can begin working with that resource. But here's something to think about. What if you have a pressing question that is not answered in the frequently asked questions? One thing you can consider doing, especially if you don't have a support contract with Amazon Web Services that gives you access to technical support, is go up to the menu and underneath supports and services, you can sign up for a free account up at the Amazon Web Service discussion forums. These are heavily moderated forums, very professionally done, and you can read the rules and ask your question in the appropriate forum. And my experience has been you're going to get at least a response very, very quickly. Oftentimes, if your question is super interesting to the forum viewers, then you'll get a whole bunch of responses and learn a lot in the discussion that ensues. A great free resource that's available to us for getting support. Now, the last resource I want to discuss with you here is that rare situation where something just isn't working. You might be getting some cryptic error message when you try and access a service, and maybe you know you can access it because you did the previous day. There is something to consider, and that is that Amazon Web Services might be having problems in the region you're trying to operate within. That's why Amazon does a great job of providing us with this resource. Watch. I'm going to go to the menu, and under support and services, notice there is a service health dashboard that is made available to us. So for each of the areas of the world and the regions inside those areas, we can check for problems that a service might be experiencing. Notice we can also open our personal health dashboard so that we can see issues that might be impacting us directly for the regions of the world that we are operating in. So I'm lucky in the last 7 days, there are no open issues in any of the regions or the availability zones that I'm currently hosting resources in. In this nugget, we examined 3 more additional resources that we have for support, and all of them were free, weren't they? We had the frequently asked questions that are available for us and categorized for easy lookup of just I really find them interesting to read. Even if I don't have a question about a service, I love to go in and look at the FAQs. We also discussed in this nugget the ability to register for a free account up in the support forums and to be able to post and even share our knowledge with others in those forums. And finally, we saw that there is a service health dashboard, even one that's tied to our account called our personal health dashboard, where we can check for issues that Amazon Web Services might be having. Amazon's very proud of their uptime and their reliability when it comes to services, so don't be surprised if it's very hard for you ever to find an entry in those dashboards, and that, of course, is a great thing. I hope you found this nugget informative, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.